Yesterday, City Council paved the way for a massive new development that could reshape the historic Bronzeville neighborhood on the city's south side. Bronzeville sits just south of McCormick Place and has been known for decades as the hub of black arts and culture in Chicago. As local public officials and residents cheer the potential for new housing and jobs, they're also optimistic about the future of a longtime community hospital that had recently been on the brink of closing. Paris Schutz and producer Nick Blumberg spent the day reporting in Bronzeville as part of our Chicago Tonight in Your Neighborhood series. Paris joins us again from 35th and King Drive. Hey, Paris.
Hey, Brandis. Yeah, we're told that ground is going to break by late this year or early next year on that massive $4 billion development on the site of the old Michael Reese Hospital, tentatively called Bronzeville Lakefront right now. And it'll be built just south of McCormick Place, just west of that truck staging area, right off the coast of Lake Michigan. Viewers might remember that former Mayor Daley had proposed building an Olympic Village on that site when Chicago was in the running for the 2016 Summer Games. Obviously, as we get Tokyo 2021 underway. But thanks to unanimous approval by City Council yesterday, the path is now paved for a mixed-use development that supporters say will bring about 4,800 units of new housing, 20% affordable housing, senior homes, businesses, industrial facilities, and a health tech hub. Now, city taxpayers are going to pony up about $90 million to clean the site and to build out some roads and other infrastructure. This project is led by Farpoint Development, a Chicago-based company. They say it'll be built over the span of the next 10 to 15 years with the first tenants already signed up and ready to go.
Ultimately, this is going to be a mixed-use live, work, play community. It's going to be a healthy community of the future. And so right now, our focus is on amplifying the community of Bronzeville and affirming the culture here and building that into our site. So this first phase of work has only 4 or 5 buildings, but that'll take us a few years. But we're looking forward to groundbreaking on infrastructure and the new streetscape by the end of this year, early next year.
And speaking of former hospitals, community members are certainly glad that this facility, the old Mercy Hospital, is not a former hospital. Former owners, Trinity Health System, threatened to close because that safety net facility had been losing millions of dollars per month. But community activists and public officials worked around the clock to attract a new buyer. And there were some false starts here. Now, a Michigan-based company called Insititute took it over with a pledge to keep it as a full-service inpatient and outpatient hospital for at least the next 10 years. And community activists celebrated the decision. They said a closure would have been devastating for Bronzeville residents.
So if you have diabetes and you live right over there in the Dearborn Homes, where do you go for health care? Where do you go for health care if you have to go to the emergency room and there's no full-service emergency room? So having a hospital helps to stabilize the lives of people that live in the community. A hospital that meets the healthcare needs of the community.
And we'll speak with the chief medical officer of Insititute Hospital to talk about plans for the future in just a bit in this program. Meanwhile, Bronzeville has lagged the rest of the city a bit in the COVID vaccination rate, coming in at about 43% of adults fully vaccinated in this zip code. One local facility, the Access Family Health Center, is treating and vaccinating residents. Doctors there say they believe unvaccinated members are starting to get the message now that Delta variant cases are on the rise.
Know that sitting in the vaccine site once a week. Last week our numbers were a little low. This week they're going up because I think people are realizing that as the COVID rates go back up, that they need to protect themselves.
And central to the life of Bronzeville, Brandis, as you mentioned, culture, specifically gospel, blues, and jazz music. The Harold Washington Cultural Center has been a community anchor for many years, but of course forced to shut down for the last 16 months because of the pandemic. Director JIMALITA TILLMAN says they're not quite ready to welcome full audiences back for shows, so right now they're using the space for an all-day summer science, technology, engineering, arts, and math camp for Chicago public school kids, run by Tillman's daughter, Dorothy Jean Tillman. What they say is the goal is not only to get kids turned on to those subjects, but to get them ready for school again in the fall, as most have been home for the better part of a year.
And many of the students, this is their first time returning to in-person socialization, so it's getting them acclimated to what they need to get ready for when they return to school. Following rules, protocol, becoming a young leader, and making good choices. And we're very proud of how we're rolling out programming here at the Harold Washington Cultural Center.
They acted out a script that they wrote previously this week, and now we're here at dance, which is a part of the A in STEAM, and we have our interpretive more so dance that we'll be creating a performance out of, and later we have our hip hop dance.
And the Tillman DNA runs deep here in Bronzeville. Dorothy Jean, the granddaughter of JIMALITA, the daughter of former alderwoman Dorothy Tillman. Connection there, and we're going to have more on Mercy Hospital and that new development and the local alderman Sophia King in just a bit. But first, Brandis, we toss it back to you.